Hello students, welcome to today's class. We all hear many sounds in our day-to-day life. So what is sound? So sound is a form of energy which produces in us the sensation of hearing. So when a body vibrates, the sound is produced. So let us see an activity which demonstrates that sound is produced when a body vibrates. So here you can see a guitar. These are the strings of the guitar. Now the strings of the guitar are not vibrating and we cannot hear any sound. Now we are going to pluck the strings of the guitar and see what changes takes place and how the sound is produced. Now he is plucking the strings of the guitar. You can see that the strings of the guitar are vibrating and at the same time we are able to hear the sound. See, the strings of the guitar are vibrating and we are able to hear the sound. So we have seen that sound is produced when a body vibrates. So these vibrations which is produced on a body, which makes the surrounding air particles to vibrate, and by the vibration of the air particles the sound propagates and reaches to our ear. Now let us see how the sound reaches to our ear. So here we are seeing an activity which demonstrate how the air particles vibrate when a body vibrates. So this is a metal strip with its lower end fixed. So push its upper end to one side and then release it. As it vibrates means moves alternatively to the right and left, producing sound. Now as the strip moves to the right from A to B, this is the mean position. It moves from mean position to right, means moves from A to B. It pushes the particles of air. It pushes the particles of air layer in front of it. So the particles of air in this layer come closer to each other. Here you can see the layers of air comes closer to each other. As a result, a region of decreased volume and increased pressure is formed. This region is known as compression, and in this picture compression is represented by the letter C. Now as the metal strips are returning from B to A, from right extreme to the mean position, after pushing the particles near the strip, the compression C moves to forward and the particles of air near the strip return back to their normal position due to the elasticity of the medium. When the strip moves to the left from A to C, that is, moves from A to C, then it pulls the layer of air near it towards left and thus produces a space of very low pressure on the right side. So this is known as rarefaction. This is known as rarefaction. So rarefaction is a region of increased volume and decreased pressure. This region is known as rarefaction. The air layers on the right side of the strip expand in this region, thus forming the rarefied layers. So this region with low pressure, that is called rarefaction. By the time the strip returns from C to its mean position, C to its mean position, the rarefaction moves forward. The rarefaction moves forward, and air layers near the strip return back to their normal position due to the elasticity of the medium. In this manner, as the strip moves to the right and left repeatedly, the strip moves from right to mean position to right, then right to mean position, then mean position to left. This way it moves. So here alternatively compressions and rarefactions are formed in air layers, and this way the sound propagates. So here the particles, this is the direction of propagation. This is the direction of propagation. This is the direction of propagation of the wave. And here the particles of the medium, are vibrating in the direction of propagation of the wave. Particles of the medium are vibrating in the direction of propagation of the wave. So this type of wave propagation is called longitudinal waves. So these longitudinal waves can be produced in solids, liquids as well as in gases. So due to propagation of wave in a medium, the particles of the medium vibrate about their mean position, and they transfer the energy with a constant speed from one place of the medium to other places. So sound is a form of energy which produces in us the sensation of hearing. The sound requires a material medium for its propagation. Without a material medium, sound cannot propagate. The waves which require a material medium for its propagation, they are known as mechanical waves. So here we see an experiment which demonstrates that sound requires a material medium for its propagation. So this is a bell jar experiment. So this is a bell jar. So see the picture. This is a bell jar, and inside the bell jar is a glass jar. So inside this bell jar you can see an electric bell. This is the gong of the bell, and this is the hammer of the bell. This electric bell is connected to a battery through a key. Key is used to on and off the circuit, and the battery is a source of current. So this electric bell is connected to the battery, and it's the mouth of the bell jar is closed with a cork, and at the bottom of this bell jar a vacuum pump is connected. This vacuum pump is used to remove the air from the bell jar. With the help of this vacuum pump, the air inside the jar can be removed. So this is the experimental arrangement. Now we start the experiment. First we on the circuit. So we can see that the hammer strikes on the gong, and we are also able to hear the sound. So we can see that the hammer strikes on the gong, and at the same time the sound also can be heard. Now by using this vacuum pump, we remove the air from the bell jar. As the air decreases, the intensity of sound also decreases, and when the whole air is removed from the bell jar, we can see that the hammer strikes on the gong and no sound is heard. This is because the sound cannot propagate through vacuum. When the whole air is removed from the bell jar, the vacuum is created. When vacuum is there, even though the hammer strikes on the gong, no sound can be heard, because sound cannot travel through vacuum. A material medium is necessary. So this experiment shows that sound requires a material medium for its propagation. Sound cannot travel through vacuum. So this is the bell jar experiment, which is demonstrating that sound requires a material medium for its propagation. Now we see the requisites of the medium. What are the requisites of the medium? So medium must be elastic. Medium must be elastic. Means if the particles, when they are disturbed from its mean position, the particles will come to the state of vibration. The medium must be elastic. It means that once it gets disturbed from its mean position, after disturbance, they will come back to its original position. So that is the meaning of medium must be elastic. Now the second requisite of the medium is medium must be elastic. Medium must have inertia. Medium must have inertia. So inertia means it is a tendency of a body to continue in its own state. Medium must have inertia. It means that particles will have a tendency to make other particles also to vibrate and continue this wave forward. So that is the meaning. Medium must have inertia. Then the third point is medium must be frictionless. There should be less friction. If the friction is less, that waves can be propagated to a long distance. If the friction is more, the waves cannot propagate to a longer distance. So these are the requisites of the medium. Medium must be have elasticity. Then medium must have inertia, and there should be less friction. So These are the requisites of the medium. So the sound is propagated in a medium in the form of waves. Now we see some of the terms related to a wave. The first one is amplitude. The maximum displacement of a vibrating particle from its mean position is called amplitude. SI unit of amplitude is meter and a smaller unit is centimeter. Time period. The time period is the time taken to complete one vibration. So one vibration means one complete to and fro motion. That is called one vibration. The time taken for one complete vibration is called time period. The SI unit of time period is second. And the next term is frequency. The number of vibrations taking place in 1 second is called frequency. The SI unit of frequency is hertz. So there is a relation between time period and frequency. So time period is represented by T, frequency by F. Then relationship between time period and frequency is time period is equal to 1 upon frequency, or frequency is equal to 1 upon time period. The next term is wavelength. So wavelength means the distance traveled by a wave. That is a wavelength. Then wave velocity. The distance traveled by a wave in unit time, that is called wave velocity. So there is a relationship between wave velocity, frequency and wavelength. So this is a relationship. Wave velocity is equal to frequency into wavelength. So these are some of the terms and the relationship between them. So today we have discussed the topic sound. So what is sound? Sound is a form of energy which produces in us the sensation of hearing. And how the sound is produced. Sound is produced only when a body vibrates. And sound is propagated in the form of longitudinal waves. In longitudinal waves, the sound propagates in a medium by making compressions and rarefactions. So compressions are the part of the longitudinal wave with less volume and more pressure. And rarefaction is the part of the longitudinal wave with more volume and less pressure. In longitudinal waves, the particles of the medium vibrate in the direction of propagation of the wave. And we have also seen some of the terms related with the wave. So in next class, we will continue this topic.